can't fall asleep again. Would I like to change my greeting? And then the light comes on upstairs.
It's as though I'd been blundering about in the dark for days, getting into the car with her. I didn't imagine it. And I realised then that I'd confused two memories. I'd inserted the image of Anna, walking away from me in her blue dress. But the woman getting into the car with Tom was wearing jeans and a red t-shirt. It was Megan.
I kisses my lips. Let's go back to bed. I try to pull away from him, but he's not letting me go.
I ring the doorbell. I wonder whether I should have called first. It's not polite to turn up early on a Sunday morning without calling, is it? No one comes to the door. I walk round the side of the house. I can hear the little girl chattering as I make my way along the path. And she starts to laugh.
All of a sudden, the whole thing seems very funny. Poor fat Rachel, standing in my garden, all red and sweaty, telling me we need to go. When I stop laughing, I say, I'm not going anywhere with you, Rachel. What are you doing here? Anna, she says, those intense dark eyes searching mine. Have you ever met any of his friends from the army? Have you ever been introduced to any of them? I shake my head. Don't you think that's odd? Not really. They belong to a different part of his life. And his family? Have you ever met Tom's parents? No. They stopped talking to him when he ran off with me. That isn't true. I've never met them either. They don't even know me, so why would they care about him leaving me? I don't believe you, I say. Why would he lie about that? Because he lies about everything. Yes, I say. He's a good liar. You were totally clueless for ages, weren't you? All those months we were meeting up and you never suspected a thing. Rachel bites her lip. Megan, she says. What about Megan? I know. They had an affair. So those phone calls weren't all from you. I know now that all this time I've been hating the wrong woman. Yet this doesn't make me dislike Rachel any less. Megan's baby, she says. Do you think it was his? There's a roaring in my ears, like the sea. What did you say? Megan was pregnant when she died. I'm so sorry. Rachel sits at my side and puts her arm around my shoulders. I want to push her away, but I can't. She lets me cry for a while. And then she says, Anna, I think you should pack some things for you and Evie, and then we should go. This isn't just about an affair. Megan got into the car with him that night. I saw her. I remember now. We have to speak to the police. Please, you can't stay here with him. I stand up, hauling Evie up with me. He couldn't have done this, Rachel. You know he couldn't. You couldn't love a man who would do that, could you? But I did, she says. We both did. Now she's looking over my shoulder. I turn to follow her gaze, and I see him at the kitchen window, watching us.
Saturday, the 13th of July. I know what I have to do. I thought about it all day yesterday, and all night too, and I made my decision. I'm going to tell the truth. No more lies, no more hiding. Everything out in the open. If he can't love me then, so be it. We were outside on the patio. Scott was talking about work, and he caught me not quite listening. Am I boring you? I sat next to him on the edge of the paving and slipped my hand into his. I told him I loved him. Then I said I'd made some mistakes, and he let go of my hand. What sort of mistakes, Megan? It's finished now, but there was someone else. He stood up and, without looking at me, spat. I followed him into the house. Scott, please, just listen. It's not as awful as you think. It's over now. It's completely over. Please, listen. He grabbed me by the tops of my arms and, wrestling me across the room, threw me against the opposite wall. My head rocked back, hitting plaster. I slide down the wall, tears running down my face. He's standing a few feet from me, saying something, but I can't hear. I think he's saying that he's sorry. I haul myself to my feet, push past him, and run up the stairs, slamming the bedroom door behind me. I lock it. Megan, I'm sorry I hurt you. Forgive me, please. Can't think about that now. Right now, I have other things to do. At the very back of the wardrobe, there's a dark grey box marked Red Wedge Boots. And in that box, there's an old mobile phone that I keep charged. I sit on the bed and switch it on. I call his number and send a text. I need to talk to you. Urgent. Call me back. And I sit and I wait. When we started all this, it was just a game. He'd pop by the gallery and smile and flirt, and it was harmless. But then the gallery closed, and I was here at home all the time, bored and restless. And then one day, when Scott was away, I bumped into him in the street. We started talking, and I invited him in for coffee. The way he looked at me, I could see exactly what was going through his mind. And so it just happened. And then it happened again. I don't remember when I started believing that we were right for each other. But the moment I did, I could feel him start to pull away. He stopped texting, stopped answering my calls. I hated it. So then it became something else. An obsession. I can hear Scott calling my name as I slam the door behind me. I walk to the park, and then I dial Tom's number. I tell him that I'll wait for him, but if he doesn't come, that's